Archer and Pine, circulating the black dollar since 1921. Go to archerpine.com now.
Welcome to the Archer and Pine podcast. My guest today, Jaya Johnson, the creator of J.Kiere jewelry line. What's going on, Jaya? How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Great. Did I say it right? J.Kiere?
Yes, you did.
And that's actually your middle name, right?
Yes, it is.
That's amazing. So I'm looking at your jewelry line, and we're so excited to have you on our platform, Archer and Pine. I mean, your stuff looks amazing. You have such a variety of different styles. I see in your bio where you started like designing when you were like 16 years old. Tell us how you got started.
Yeah, so during my senior year of high school, I was finishing up and had to take an art class for a credit, and so I decided to take a jewelry class. And I had always been, inclined artistically and, loved to design ever since I was, little. But making jewelry just really gave me a sense of peace. And so during my senior year, I took this jewelry class and we learned how to make chains. And I just loved the variety and creativity that I was able to do with those chains. So I was nearing the end, about to graduate, classes were done, and I just spent days in the jewelry studio, working with different materials. And so my family, my friends, and even my classmates were like, you should really, go on Etsy and, start selling your stuff. And that's just how I got started.
It's amazing. And again, I'm looking at your products and I'm just really impressed. After you decided you want to go into it, what inspires you to go, okay, I'm going to do this and do that? What makes you get inspired to design a new piece?
I definitely get inspired by the women in my family. So I have a very strong supportive base of women in my family, and that's kind of what inspires me. So each piece is named after a woman in my life, whether that be a family member or a friend. And the chain design, I just definitely wanted to represent like the intergenerational relationships among women. I've been very blessed to have a great relationship with my mom, my grandmother, and my great-grandmothers. And just their style and the way they carry themselves, that's definitely inspired the way that I dress and how I style. So I wanted to reflect that in my jewelry.
And Jaya, I'm always intrigued because, for our Archer and Pine podcast, we really spend time with our creators, with our designers. And I'm always curious because it seems like creativity and entrepreneurship in most people's minds, they're separate, but it seems like it's kind of joined together. Like, how did you have that, entrepreneurship piece? I mean, you had the creativity piece, but what brought together your entrepreneurial side?
So when I was in college, actually came to Spelman College wanting to be a doctor. And just the summer before that, that's when I launched my Etsy shop. And I slowly realized that my inclination was more towards, working with people, my customer base, and then just also being creative. I also had a very strong math background. So I changed my major to economics my sophomore year of college, and I just loved learning about business, loved the way it worked. And currently I'm in grad school at Wake Forest University getting my master's in accounting because I want to know more about how businesses run and work. So I guess I've just been blessed with having, both sides of my brain that just work very well together, the math and the analytical side, but also the creativity side. But also with entrepreneurship, it's a lot about personal development. And I think that that's also just been, a desire of mine to just grow as a person. And that's just been reflected in my business as well.
Oh, I think that's a great combination. And again, I kind of came to entrepreneurship later in life. I'm a media guy. And it is interesting how, like you said, the numbers piece is very real, So the creativity piece, so you have your product and you have it on a platform, but then the numbers side, getting it out there, letting people know about it, reaching people. It's just very interesting how numbers are a big part of it, but you may not even notice it until you really start doing it, you know? And I think the even the creativity piece, which is interesting, when you started hand making your stuff at 16, so you probably started noticing certain formulas or certain techniques that you had to use when making it that became a part of a system. It wasn't as random as it probably felt at first, you know? Is that true? Or am I just making this up?
Yes, there's definitely a system to it. I think that especially hand working with materials and, you know, knowing what each piece requires and pricing that correctly and just having your hands on the product, I feel like it's just very special to me to know that, you know, something that I put my hands on, you know, someone is wearing and, you know, adoring and, you know, it brings me, you know, great joy to have my hands on this work.
I love it. And I'm so excited for you because, again, your pieces, as you mentioned, they're kind of paying homage to the stylish, classy women in your life. And when I look at your pieces, it really does say that. You know, it does say it's beautiful, it's classy, it's well done. And then what's so cool, and the reason I love our platform, is we have artisans like you that have these pieces that are special. They mean something to you. They're not just mass produced. Like you said, you actually get to touch them and you put your heart and your love into it and pass that on to people at a great price point, I might add. This is just in time for the holidays. And I'm sure your holidays are cool because you got the Christmas, you got the Valentine's Day, you got basically year round is a holiday for jewelry.
Yes. And one thing that I really strive to do is, even with, you know, the products that I do have, is I really want to make sure that women have the jewelry that they want. And I think that just so times just with the, you know, mass produced, it's not very accessible for us to get that jewelry that we're specifically looking for. And that's something else I strive to do with, like, even, you know, making things that are custom and just, you know, trying to make sure that, you know, when we're looking for something for a special occasion or we have a special gift or we have a family member who, you know, can't work the small, you know, clasp, just making sure that all those needs are met is very important to me as well.
Well, Jaya, I see a bright future. We're so excited to have you on our platform, Archer Pine, and we can just see big, big things for you. How can people reach you?
Yes, so my email address is Jaya, Jaya, at linksbyjkiere.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, but my messages are always open. I have customers asking me all the time, like, Jaya, can you do this? Can we moderate this product? So I'm always happy to work one-on-one with my customers in order to, you know, get the jewelry that they want.
I love it. All I see is success, success, success. Thanks so much for your time, Jaya. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Archer and Pine, circulating the black dollar since 1921. Go to archerpine.com now.